Hello again. This stream will be about object-oriented programming and Java language syntax. To show you the Java language, I will use special instrument IntelliJ IDEA. It looks like that. And it's very close to Android Studio because they have the same core inside it. IntelliJ IDEA, it's a free application. You can download it and use. Community edition, of course. If you have not IntelliJ IDEA or some another IDE for Java language, you may use some online instruments. For example, just Google something like Java Online compiler, sorry, and here we have a lot of compilers. For example, Java Online Java Compiler IDE on jdoodle.com, and here we can create some code. But I will use IntelliJ IDEA IDE just because it's very useful for me. So I remove my code. First of all, maybe it's necessary to show you how to create Java application in this instrument. We have menu on the top of our screen, and here we have a file, new as usual, and project. Here is necessary to check project SDK and select some version, for example 11th or maybe 8 or 9. I don't select these items and just press next button. But here is necessary to add this check sign in this checkbox and select command line app. This project will be not for Android, just Java project. Here I can input some project name, for example my first project, and project location, and I press on finish button, and I want to open it in this current window. Here in the left side of my screen I have the structure of my project, and in this project I have only one source code file with name main. It's name by default. It's not necessary to change it in Java application because the running of your application will be start with this class and this class main and this method main. So I refresh my page on Twitch TV. Yeah, my internet is not very well because I live not in town So, today I want to tell you about object-oriented programming. I will add some theoretical information in comments. Object-oriented programming. Maybe some of you already know something about object-oriented programming. If you know something, please write I know OOP in this chat. But if you don't know anything about it, it's normal, because you are a first year student. Guys, if you have some problems with this stream video, don't afraid. Try to refresh your page or stop this video and start it. And remember that you will have start from first. Start from what? I'm not started. Remember that you will have a video. You can watch it again. About object-oriented, maybe is necessary to repeat the creation of project, but you can watch it in video. So, object-oriented programming. What is it? Just imagine that you, not imagine, you know that you has in your programming languages a lot of types. For example, I can create some variable, for example, name, with type of string. In Java, when we create new variable, we write first of all the type of this variable, then name of this variable, and then we try to put some value in this variable. For example, name John. In every line of code in Java, yes. When we write the code in Java, we should use this sign after every command. So, I have some variable with type of string. I can add another variable with another type, for example, int, with age of my John. I want to input some information about it. And imagine that you develop some program for bank system or maybe for university, and your application should has a lot of information about people. Name, age, maybe passport number, string, passport. Maybe like that. Not only one name, but first name, second name, and a lot of variables for every part of information about person. And if we have a lot of persons, a lot of items of this information, we should have a lot of variables. It's not so useful. And what if I want to create my own type? I want to create some variable, for example, person, and I want to put in this variable all information about one person. First name, last name, middle name, every information about person I want to put into one variable. and make some operation with this information. And we can do it in object-oriented programming. We can create our own types and change it and make some operation with it. How to do it? I want to create my own type for information about person. My own type for information about person. To do it is necessary to use special keyword class. My own type, it's just a class. First of all, I write this special word, then the name of my type. I want to name it person. Remember that, as far as I know, in every language we name class with in this style, with capital letter in start of this name. So my class person, and I want to determine some special information about my class. That's why I create the body of my class. Here I want to put information about my own type. For example, I want to put information about name, last name, first name, age, and everything from this block of code. Here is necessary to list all fields, it names fields or maybe attributes of my class. First of all, first name, then last name, then age, then passport number. Now my type, my person, has a lot of fields. What does it mean? These fields is just variables which will be inside my person. When we will create new person, our person will have a lot of variables inside it. In this case, 4 variables. Then, now I create my own type and I want to use it and create new variable with this type. To create new variable, I should implement a special method, which name constructor. This method of function will be executed when I will create new variable with this type. In Java, the constructor look like just name of my class and brackets. This is just a function, special type of function. In this constructor, I want to put some default values into my variables, because when we create some new variable of person type, we want to have some default values in these variables. For example, name by default will be just empty string. Last name empty string too. Age I think if we create new person, it's a newborn person, so let's make a 0 in age. And passport number, it's just a empty string. This is the constructor. In this method will be executed on creation of person type variable. And in constructor we usually define default value of our fields. Our person may have a lot of constructors with different parameters. For example, if I want to create new person variable and I know first name, last name and age and passport number, I can use another constructor with parameters. First name, type of course, string last name, and int age. This is second constructor with parameters. In this constructor, look here. Constructor is just a special type of method of function in your class, and here we have parameters. In Java, we create parameters in this way: the type of parameter, the name of parameter, the type, the name, and the same. Here I want to get my parameter and put it into my fields. How to do it? I write this dot first name. What does it mean? A special word this means that we use not this first name, but first name of our class. First name of our class is this first name. We use this word if the name of my parameter and name of my field is the same. But I may use different name. For example, I may have name, so in this case I can write just first name equals name. But if I have the same names, I use special word this last name equals last name. Again, this keyword means that we use last name from our class, from fields of our class, not parameter, but this field. This is the field of our class, this is the parameter. We get information from our parameter and put it into our field. And the same with age. This age okay, now we have two constructors in our class and we can use it. Let's try to do it. Let's create our first object. We try to use object-oriented programming and we should to create new objects. I want to create variable of person type. How to do it? Like a simple variable. First of all, the type of my variable, person. The next, the name of my variable. For example, name. Person 1. And then is necessary to execute the constructor of my person. We use special word new. It means that we want to create new object of this class. Then we call constructor of our class person. And I have some problems with static and not static context. As usual in Java. I add a special word static to my class person. For what I will you may Google what mean this special word, or you may ask me, but not now. I don't want to complex my lecture. So here I have a variable with type of person, and I create new person with constructor without parameters. If I try to output in my console, for example, information about this person, I will have a person with these default values. Oh no, I don't want to input it. I want to show you how to debug it. I add a breakpoint here. I just click on this area and add a breakpoint. I hope that you know how to debug your source code. But if you don't know what is it and how to do it, please write in stream chat and I will show how to do it. Now I run my application in debug mode and I want to know everything about my variable person1. Here I have an array with variables of my application, and I go to the next step, and here I have person1. What we can see inside this variable, inside this object, we have 4 another variables with our default values, empty strings and 0 in age. What we do in this constructor? Let's try to create another person and use another constructor. Person2, and I want to use the constructor with parameters. Person, and I want to add first name, last name and age. stop my debugging mode. First name will be John as usual. Last name will be Johnson. My imagination is not very well. And 12, for example. Person 2. So again, the type of my variable, the name of my variable, special word new to create new variable, and the calling of constructor. The second name of this is initializer. Let me edit. And let's try to run this code. The next step, and here we have person 1 and person 2, but person 2 already has some information inside it. Look here, we have now reference in our passport number. Why? It's because we have this variable inside our person, but we did not initialize it. We did not put some information inside this variable. In first constructor, we put empty string inside it, but here we did not change our passport number. That's why here we have initial value just now. Now means now or null. In Russia we call it null. This means that this variable is absolute empty. It's not an empty string. It's just it has not anything. It's an empty reference to our area of memory, and we can't to use it when it has value null. So now we have two person 1 with empty fields and person 2 with some information but not with passport number. I created my own type and I use it, but now I want to add some functions to my own type. You know that when you use, for example, string, you may do something with this string. I have string passport, and I can input dot and select some method. We call it method in this list. For example, this method char at with some number will return me a char at 4th position, and I want to create the same for my own type. How to do it? I want to make some work with my person. For example, let's try to get the first name and last name of my person in the one string. How to create method for my own type, for my class? Methods. First of all, to determine the method for my class is necessary to determine the return value of this method. I want to create the method which will return the string. That's why I write string. Then I write the name of my method, get full name, for example. Then it's necessary to add parameters if we need it, but I don't need parameter here. And that's all. It's necessary to create the body of my method. I add some information to you. If you don't know what is method, it's something like function. We can call it function or procedure. Function and procedure is the same that method. Here I want to get full name of my person. What I should to do to get it? I need new variable full name, and I want to concatenate my first name and last name. I just get first name plus some space plus last name. And now I have some problem because my method is not return something. I need to use special word return and return this full name. This is my method for my class. I can call this method for the variables with my type person. First name, last name. I can write it more simpler. For example, just return this. It doesn't matter how to do it, with a new variable or without it. Do it if you want. So I have my person 2 and I want to call this method for my person 2. I create new variable full name and I want to put the return value of my method into this new variable. Person2 dot, look here, get full name. I have it in my list. Let's try. I started in debug mode. And here I have full name John Johnson with space between two words. Here I execute the method of my class person for my variable person2. If I will execute it for another variable, for person1, I will get another result. Let's check it. Full name of person1. Person1 dot get full name. Start it again. Next step, and here I have full name John Johnson as usual and full name of person1 with empty space, because my person1 has empty strings in first name and last name. This method I execute for this variable, for this object. This method I execute for this object. That's why this method these methods return me not equal result, because this person2 has its own last and first name this person1 has its own empty first and last name. What else about object-oriented programming? Here we created objects. This is the objects. This is the class. Class and my own type is the same. And this is the object of type person. In object-oriented programming we have I forget about something. We have not a lot of time, and I want to show you how to change the variables inside my class. Now I can get the variables inside my object, for example person2, just with a dot, and here we have last name, age, first name, passport number, and we can do with it what we want. For example, change it in this way. But it's very bad in object-oriented programming, because we have special term encapsulation. Encapsulation means that we must to protect our data inside our own types from modification. We must to get to another programmer or to us the right to change our fields only if we really want it. What does it mean? Here, before my field first name, is necessary to add special word private. Private, I will add comment for you. Private is a access modifier. It's a special word which means that nobody, only person, may to change this variable. What does it mean? Look, I want to call person2 and want to change my first name. First name Vasya. And it give me the right to change it. It's very first name. And now I have a lot of problems with it, because my first name is private, and here I have problems with static, and so I can't to change first name from another class, from my class main. Oh, our time is ended, so we will continue with object-oriented programming tomorrow in 9 o'clock, and I will tell you about access modifiers. We have 4 types of access modifiers, and about inheritance, and about Android Studio. I think today we should stop with our object-oriented programming. Guys, if you have some question, please write me a message here or in Discord, and I ask you to try to create your own type for save information about animal. It's a little homework to you. One quick question, of course. I write it. I just write a little task. What strange website do you mean? Do you mean Twitch TV or online compiler? Ah! This treasure website. I don't know. Or maybe I know something, but I will not tell you. You will know everything later. It's our mystic, strange things. Yes, I understand about about this side. You will know it about you will know it if you find the special message on this site. You will know everything. So guys, the task for today, on language which you know. Oh, you cracked the code. Very good. On language which you know, C++, Python, Java. No, it's better to Java, of course, just because if you want to develop application for Android, it's necessary to know Java. Create a cat class with these fields: name, breed, age, and eye color, and add 2 or 3 methods. What methods you should decide by yourself. I will repeat this task in Google Class. If you will have problems, write me in Discord. I will try to help you. It's enough for today. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.